Baby, it's cold outside. You better bundle up in one of these ugly sweaters. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, December the 11th. Yes, 11th, 2023. And it's vlog number 342. So, yes, we're getting close to Christmas, but I have a couple of, not retractions, what's the thing? A couple of trigger warnings about this episode. That's probably a little too dramatic. But anyways, what I mean is this. First of all, if you have the Missouri Star Quilt Christmas Advent box, and if you've been opening it by the suggested method of one gift each day, then you may want to skip this episode. Well, at least the first part of this episode, okay? The part where I show my current projects, which is about the first 5 minutes, roughly, of the video. So you might want to skip over that because it'll be a spoiler alert. Sorry about that, but that's the way it goes, okay? Second of all, later on when I do my little, what I'm pissed off at, I am going to be very, very serious today to talk about an issue that not only I experience, but many of my friends who are creators, sorry about the thumb, I forgot this thing's on for doing that, and it may disturb some people with what I'm going to say, and I don't apologize for what I'm going to say. It is what it is. Okay, great way to start the video off on a Monday morning, isn't it? So let's jump right into what I've been working on. Again, this could be a spoiler alert for you if you have the Missouri Star Christmas box. So if you do, skip ahead by about 5 minutes or so, okay? All right, so let me switch my screen over. I'm going to switch my screen over. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you were warned. And here it is. Okay, I can't remember which day in the Missouri Star Quilt box these things were in, okay? And that's probably the reason why in some cases, like yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live, I may have given away a few things. But you want to know something? So be it. But we'll come back to this and talk about it later. But anyways, this was one that when I first saw the fabric, I wasn't thrilled, not in my color realm. But now that I've got the project done, I'm loving it. It is a table runner, of course. I think it's great. I think this would look really great in more traditional Christmas colors as well. So this is a pattern I'm going to put aside in my file for Christmas patterns for next year that I want to work on. I've gotten a whole lot lately of things that I would have liked to have done for this year, but there just isn't time. So I'm putting them on hold. They will be projects for next year, and this is one of them. It also had a matching pot holder, which I really love as well. Again, not my color combination usually, but this certainly is outside of my wheelhouse, and I'm loving it. I'm thinking, I should do maybe a few other larger projects in this color scheme. Okay, moving on. This is what I call the granny bag. This was another one that was there in the Christmas box. I didn't like it, but I was curious about making a bag in this style with those types of handles. I've never done that, and so I did it, and actually I kind of like it. I call it the granny bag because it just reminds me of something, my grandmother might have carried off to the grocery store when she went shopping, stuff like that. Okay, now this one I'm doing not in the way it was intended to be done. I'm not going to say any more about it, but it was one of those items, well, sort of one of those items in the Christmas box. Again, I hope you turned away from this, if this is a spoiler for you. But I'm going to talk more extensively about how I'm actually doing this ugly sweater set of blocks, because I'm not doing them. At first glance, they look like they're applique, and they are applique, but I'm not doing them in traditional applique form. I'm doing them using my embroidery machine, and I'll explain all of that. I've actually made a little video about how I converted this pattern over so that I could do it in my embroidery machine. Words fail me. Okay, so if you're interested in that, that'll be on tomorrow's Idiot Quilter. Okay, is that all I've been working on right now? Yeah, okay, that's all I have to show you at this point in time. So if there were those of you that skipped over that first part, you can come back on here. And yeah, no more spoiler alerts in the rest of this, I think. If something slips in, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about the YouTube channel of the week. And this time of the year, you know, as we move into Christmas, we are filled with nostalgia. At least I think I am. We're thinking of Christmas past, we're thinking of family, we're thinking of traditions and things like that. Well, we also, a big part of Christmas celebrations or Hanukkah celebrations or whatever holiday that you celebrate. Doesn't have to be Christmas, right? Whatever. In the festive season, let's call it that, just so people don't think that I'm discriminating. And believe me, well, that's going to come up shortly. Anyways, I watch a channel every now and then. I think it's called Recollections Road or something like that. I have reviewed it before some time ago, and they go down memory lane. And one of the ones that caught my attention in their title was What We Ate 60 Years Ago. And you know, our eating habits for the most part have really changed. I know mine have because 60 years ago, foreign food was considered going down to the one and only Chinese restaurant in the town I grew up in and getting, you know, Chinese, sweet and sour chicken balls and fried rice. Okay? That seemed foreign in those days. Today, at least here where I live, I have such a wide selection of any kind of food from anywhere around the world. And I have tried various ones, you know. When I was a kid, for example, one of my favorite foods is Indian. And that was something that it wasn't even in our minds eating Indian food. And if it ever came to light to us that this, you know, is a food we should try, first of all, there wasn't really any place to get it, and unless you went to India. And second of all, well, we'd seen all the documentaries and we thought that those people were eating dirt. Well, they're not. And it's delicious and I love it. And there's other foods I could say similarly. But it's fun to look back at what we ate and how we thought it was very elegant at the time. So here's my review of this little video clip that you might find really interesting. This week's YouTube video of the week comes from a YouTube channel that I've never reviewed before, mainly because of its name. It says Gamer Likes Retro. So I thought it was a gamer's channel, but it turns out to be one that looks at old television commercials and things from the past. So this particular clip I found really interesting because, you know, in December, we're all talking about food, of course, for Christmas and the holidays. And this one deals with what we ate 60 years ago, rare commercials from the 50s and the 60s. Now, some of you might remember some of these commercials and some of these products. I found it really interesting because, yeah, like I said, some of these things I remember seeing on television. Whether or not we were able to get some of these products in Canada at the time, well, that's another story for another day. But this is a really great little clip. It's interesting, it takes you down memory lane, and it's just fun to watch how television commercials have changed and products have changed over the years as well. So if you want a little piece of nostalgia about food, then check out What We Ate 60 Years Ago. So the link for that is in the show notes. There's also a link for Wednesday So with Stephanie and Steven. You know the routine. And there's a link to all of my friends' YouTube channels as well. And some of them, like Shannon from Slay Arts and Adam from Adam Sews and Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches, they all have goals for the end of the year that they're trying to meet with the number of subscribers. So please, if you've never checked them out, click on the link below, check them out, and subscribe to them. It would make them really happy. And it's Christmas time, and you know, it's the time when we want to make everybody happy, including ourselves. Other links in those show notes are all of my past week's videos are all linked there as well. That includes 2 out of the 5 of the MSQC, that's the Missouri Star Quilt Company, Christmas box unboxings. We've been putting them out on the on days that end in 5 or a derivative thereof. So we put 5 of them out on December 5th, the next 5 on December 10th, the next 5 will be December 15th, the next 5 will be December 20th, and the last 5 will be on Christmas Day, the 25th. Okay, so what's it doing outside? Well, let's take a look. So right now it's -1 Celsius, which is below freezing just slightly. It's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, it's not doing a heck of a lot. Today it says it's just going to be cloudy with a high of 2. And the rest of the week, actually the temperatures are going up. On Friday, we'll be at 8 degrees Celsius. So that's about 45, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's not cold, that's not warm, that's in between. And no snow in the forecast for over a week, according to this. However, there may be things coming. You can never be sure. They're never sure. So that's where we're at right now. And you know, we don't have any snow in my area. There are other parts of Ontario, not that far away from me, that do have some snow. This is not unusual, as you've heard me say before, because we live on the lake, Lake Ontario, and it's lake effect, they call it. It affects our climate. So I am not disappointed. When I was a kid, yes, I love snow. As an adult, not a big fan. It's pretty when it first falls, and it can melt about 2 hours later, and I'm happy. And speaking of that, we did have some last week, and I took some pictures of it, and let me see if I can find those for you. Everything disappears when I'm looking for it. It's here somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Let's blow that up. Okay, I took this when I first got up in the morning. This is what greeted me. It was still dark out, as you can see. That was from my Ring camera, but isn't it pretty? It is pretty, you know, on the trees and everything like that. It did not last. It was melted by lunch, if not sooner, and it looks like a lot here, but it really wasn't a lot. And here's what our backyard looks like. And our backyard does look like a winter wonderland when it snows because of the trees that are back there and everything else. But as I said, that's gone, and good riddance to it is what I say. Okay, bring you back to me. All right, so yeah, winter is approaching fast. I was given a lesson about that by a subscriber. I said the 21st of December marked the official first day of winter. They corrected me by talking about that it wasn't based on the winter solstice, and this and this and the other thing, and got into a whole lot of astronomical stuff that I did not really understand, and I don't care. Like, really, I don't care. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, and what I grew up believing, and whether it's right or it's wrong, December 21st is the first day of winter. Okay? You can have your own dates for that. It doesn't really matter. And you know, talking about this kind of thing, and now I'm going to get kind of serious on you, because I want to tell you what's really pissing me off. And you know, it's okay. How do I start this? All right. As a YouTube creator, I have left myself open to criticism. Now, constructive criticism is always welcome. You know, if I say something and I got the wrong information, and people who know the right information kindly and politely put it in the comments, and that's great. I get educated. You know what? I was an educator. I was a teacher, and I live by the motto that you're a lifelong learner. You never stop learning in one area of interest or subject things or what. I believe that if you don't learn at least one new thing each day, your life is boring. Okay? That's the attitude I have to that. So when people give me constructive criticism or fill me in on something I didn't know, I appreciate the information. But there's a right and there's a wrong way to do that with anybody. But for some reason, as creators, we have left ourselves vulnerable to nut jobs. Yes, I said it, nut jobs. Because we know in today's modern society, we have a lot of people who are just out there. They're not what we usually think of as being sane, rational individuals. Now, I am not saying anything about people that have mental health problems, okay? That's a little different kind of thing, although oftentimes what I'm about to say is related to a person's state of mental health. Well, here's what I'm talking about. People who are nasty and negative, and they decide because their little lives are not going the way they want them, that they should bring their misery to everybody else in the world. And they seem to like to do that on social media. We have all seen examples of horrible comments individuals have made on things like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and of course, YouTube. And YouTube lends itself or gives these kind of people a playground, okay? Because they tend to be anonymous. There are lots and lots of people that are on YouTube that do not use the real name, do not have a picture of themselves. They hide behind a series of numbers or fictitious email addresses or, nicknames or something like that. But then they feel, as they cover up their real identity, that they are now free from the confines of good manners and societal norms to say whatever they want to say, to hurt whoever they can hurt, to cut up, to criticize negatively anybody they want to, and they get away scot-free. But it goes beyond just making comments. It goes to the fact that they believe the world should run in the manner they wish it to run. In other words, the only thing that's important is them. They are the only one, they are the authority on how people should live their lives or what people should say and what people should do. Well, you're not. Okay? Now, I often make the comment, my playpen or my sandbox, my rules. Okay, and those of you that have been on my pop-up sew days or in sewing with Stephanie and Stephen days or whatever, have heard me say this before, to the point where some of my regulars, I just have to say, my playground or my sandbox. Why am I saying playground? My sandbox, and they all go, your rules. Yeah. What do I mean by that? Well, it's partially a joke, okay? But it's my way of reining in people that might be in my forum that are doing something that is making other people uncomfortable or, in some cases, outright insulting to those people. When I run a pop-up sew day or any kind of sew day on Zoom, I want to create an atmosphere that is fun, that is supportive, educational, where people can come and it's a safe space. They don't have to worry about someone criticizing them or criticizing what they're working on or anything like that. And I have to say, I think that I have been very successful at doing that. So if somebody gets out of line slightly or whatever, I will often use that expression, my sandbox, my rules. And they know then that, ooh, yeah, maybe I should back off a little bit. Most people with common sense, and some sensibility to the sensibilities of other people, get it. But there's always those that don't. So at the pop-up sew day this past weekend, we had this one person rear her ugly head. And yes, I call a spade a spade. She was somebody that had done some things and had hurt a few people's feelings and worse. And I banned her from any of my events because I will not put up with that behavior. And this person was not remorseful. I gave the person an opportunity to state their side of the issue and to apologize. They did not. They felt in their mind that by basically reducing another individual to tears, that they had the right to do that. No, my sandbox. Okay. But they tried to get in on our pop-up sew day on Saturday. Well, they didn't because I didn't allow it, and I think I have them now blocked. I thought I had them blocked before. Apparently, I did not. But Zoom, like YouTube, keeps changing how things work, so you never know what worked yesterday in terms of like blocking somebody doesn't necessarily work tomorrow. Anyways, got rid of that person very quickly. However, I got an email from my good friend Stephanie, And we've been talking lately about the fact that people have been very rude and horrible to us as creators. She had somebody call her an idiot. Now, I call myself the idiot, but I think everybody that watches me on a regular basis realize why I use that term. Okay, it's tongue in cheek. Okay, um, but this person didn't like something Stephanie had said or had done, and called her an idiot for doing it. Well, that's hurtful. And this is not the first time that other creators have had these things. We've had people who attack us not just for what we say or what we show, but the way we look. You know, you're too fat. Your face is ugly. Why do you do your hair that way? What do you call that outfit you're wearing? They're just Karens out there. Sorry to use the term because I know lots of Karens and they're lovely people. You know, I don't know why that that name suddenly stuck with people who do horrible things. But nevertheless, there are those people out there. And it hurts. It does hurt. You know, we as creators do have feelings as well. Okay? But we're in the public forum. So we have left ourselves vulnerable to these kind of comments. And we have to grow a thick skin very quickly. If you're going to make it on YouTube creating videos, you have to accept the fact that there's going to be nut jobs out there, there's that word again, who are going to come and they're going to attack you. So how do I handle nut jobs? I get rid of them. If someone puts up a comment that I feel does not contribute in a positive way to my channel or to the ideas that are expressed by other people or even myself, then I delete the comment because it is tainted. It means it's trying to taint the atmosphere I am trying to create and maintain. It's negative. It's not doing anybody any good. So I get rid of them. And I usually try to block them as well if I think they're going to be a repeat offender. Now, there are sometimes people say things and don't really realize it, right? We've all been in that boat. I know I certainly have. And the written word sometimes is a very inadequate form of communication because when you can't see the other clues that tell us how a person feels about something they're writing, like their facial expressions, their tone of voice, that kind of thing, then words become very important. And we all know that words have different meanings to different people, and it's very easy to misunderstand what somebody means. Those kind of comments I'm not talking about. 9 times out of 10, a person will come back if I've questioned them and I'll say, I wasn't sure what you meant by that. They'll come back and go, oh, I'm sorry. What I really meant was, okay, that's fine. No problem there. But then there are those who just outright tell you what's wrong with you, what's wrong with your ideas, what's wrong with what you show them, and they also tell you how you should correct the situation. They make demands. Well, it's not for them to make the demands on my channel. You don't own the channel. My sandbox. Okay? So I'm going to give you a real life example that just happened yesterday. Yeah. So I started this video set off today warning you that there could be a spoiler alert for the Missouri Star quilt. I've got something in my eye, sorry. A spoiler alert for the Missouri Star quilt box that everybody's opening. You know, they got it, right? And we're all doing our reveals and things like that. Now, people are doing the reveals in different ways. Many of them are doing them on a day-by-day basis. So, you know, today is day 11. So guess what? There's going to be a whole raft of videos out there where people reveal what was in the day 11 box. It's kind of fun. On Saturday, when I was showing some things and talking about it, because Stephanie and I don't do ours on a daily basis, we do it every 5 days, and we do them in a group of 5, I kind of forget what was in that series of days. So I accidentally revealed something that has not yet been revealed. Okay. Spoiler alert, right? I didn't even think of that. It didn't enter my head. Kill me. I made a mistake. I did. Okay. It was an honest mistake. And it gets very easy to get confused about some things. You know, I make 4 to 5 videos a week, and I make them, several of them I do in advance. Like for example, this one, this vlog right now, I'm already planning next week's vlog by the time you see this one. Okay. And I have notes and I have schedules and things like that, but it does get confusing. I do not have a personal assistant who keeps me on track. Okay. It would be lovely to have such a thing, but nope, I'm a one-man show. So anyways, I'm digressing. So inadvertently, I did reveal in advance, something that's there. And I'm sorry about that. If that, spoiled the surprise for you, I'm sorry for spoiling the surprise. What can I say? It's done. It's over with. We have to live with it. But this individual didn't feel they had to live with that. They were very disappointed with me. But they didn't come to me first. They went to Stephanie and upset her, which was not needed. And this is why this person, and I will say what they have is their label, and they're labeled as Maple 4078. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, no idea. I will say that the tone sounds female, but I have no idea for sure about that. And this person wrote to Stephanie and basically told Stephanie she should be careful about the friends she picks. She made it sound like I had done this intentionally and that I had just altered the universe beyond repair and that I'm taking Stephanie down with me. Well, Stephanie got upset about that. And if the roles had been reversed, if that's what she had written to me about Stephanie, I would have been upset because Stephanie and I are friends. We are friends. We are YouTube creators and we are friends. So you attack Stephanie, you attack me, and vice versa. And isn't that what friends are for? Kind of a thing. So Stephanie sent me a copy of the message. I am not going to read it to you. No. Not at all. But needless to say, I wrote back to Stephanie, and Stephanie already told me. She said she answered it back, and then she got rid of this individual. She deleted, blocked them. Rightly so, because that was not a constructive comment. That did not add anything to the channel. That was a very negative comment. So I wrote back to Stephanie and said, good, Stephanie, that was the right approach. And I said, don't worry about it. I'm not upset. She thought I was be upset too. I said, I'm not upset. We get these kind of things, frequently. Frequently we get somebody like that. And so I was done with it. Except that Walter, and you know what Walter likes to do? He likes to do his research, and he's damn good at it. He went in and discovered that this person had written a nasty comment on my YouTube channel. Now, the thing is, as a creator, I have it set up so that anybody who subscribes to my channel, if they write a comment, I get a notification of that comment in my email. And my email's on all day long. Now, the reason I do that is so that I can, if it constitutes that there should be an answer back, that I can answer in a very quick way. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, that doesn't happen. I don't see the comments until I physically go in and start scanning the recent comments. And I do that on a regular basis. So last night, as I was going to bed, Walter had checked this out, and there was the comment from this person, which you will not see because I have deleted it. But this person said this: Stephanie, this is what they wrote. Your friend Stephen is revealing the gifts before all have opened their gifts. Some of us like to do the day by day. Careful who your friends are with. Be careful who you're friends with, because they can tarnish your name as you two open the MSQ box together. Tarnish her name. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're in a political race here. We're in competition. I would want to do that to Stephanie. No, that's not true. And then the comment that they wrote on my channel was they basically berated me. Told me I was a bad boy. I was wicked because of what I had done. And as such, they were going to unsubscribe and wouldn't watch any more of my videos. Well, the ironic part is this person isn't subscribed to me. The other thing is this person is on YouTube, but they don't put up videos. They just keep it as a placeholder for, things that they subscribe to. That's how I know they're not subscribed to me as well. Okay? So I don't care. Bye-bye to you. Even if they were subscribed to me, my heart would not be broken if they unsubscribed because, hey, that's your prerogative. You can do that. But to think the world revolves around you, because that's what these kind of comments mean, get over yourself, Karen. Okay? Because we don't care. So, Maple 4078, I'm watching for you. And people like you. And as I said, my sandbox, my rules. You put something in my comments that does not contribute in a positive way to my overall channel, you are not welcome. Goodbye. And that is all I want to say about that, except for one other thing. I am genuinely sorry that I may have created something I should have done a spoiler alert for, and it could happen again. And having said that, on tomorrow's Idiot Quilter, spoiler alert, you may want to skip tomorrow's IQ if you're really concerned about, you don't want me to spoil your surprise if you have the rented lips. The MSCQ, no, it's the Missouri Star Quilt. MSQC. There we go. Christmas box. Sorry. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about new products. Well, I have something right here to show you. Just give me a sec. So I just recently discovered these little items. They're called Swedish dishcloths. I know some are going to say, oh, they've been around for years. And yes, they have been. And you can get them at IKEA. Yes, you can. I bought this package of 10 from Amazon, but I'm loving them. I got a couple of them recently that I didn't know what they were. And I've been using them, and I absolutely love them for cleaning. I've got a couple hanging underneath my kitchen sink because I wipe down my counters every morning when I get up and everything, and they are wonderful. And they're supposedly eco-friendly. You can wash them in your dishwasher or wash them in your washing machine. And they're supposed to last like about 6 months of steady use. So I bought a package of 10. I'm loving them. I know, cleaning things, who wants to think about cleaning? But trust me, if I'm loving them. If you've never used these before, you need to buy some because they are great. Not associated, not affiliated with the product. Okay, so that's the only thing new that I really bought this week. Hiccups. I always get hiccups. So that takes me to the grow light situation. Let's talk about the grow lights. Well, we've got a new crop of lettuce coming up, as you can see in these boxes, which is good because we're getting very low. This is our older crop of lettuce, and you can see we still have this problem with getting brown. They get to a certain level where they start to get brown on the top of the leaves. Walter says he thinks that they're getting burned by the light, that the light is too low. But if it's not low enough, then the things we're starting up don't grow. So we're playing with that. Got to start harvesting some of my basil because it's doing really well. The basil loves the grow lights. It really does. And I love fresh basil and things. These are pepper plants, I believe. These are pepper plants. Yeah. So these are starting to get to the stage where I think we'll have to transfer them over to the other grow lights, these ones, like these ones they're doing here, because these ones have a much higher level to them. We can adjust how low the lights are or how high the lights are. these are our onions. They're doing very well. I think it may be time to start eating some onions in things, our own onions. I honestly forget that we have these downstairs. So yeah, and they're getting a little wild here. So time to tame those. And you can see we've got more peppers coming on. They're small. What about our bug problem? Well, it's kind of controlled and kind of not controlled. Walter's been doing things with the plants. It has been partially successful, but now we've realized we have two types of bugs. We have whitefly, they're called, and we have these little black ones, little gnats. And yeah, we got things that they can stick to and die on. Walter has special organic types of sprays that basically are detergent kind of a thing, and that helps as well. But yeah, we're monitoring it carefully. We're trying to nip the bug when it happens, kind of a thing. But yeah, these are things I didn't think about when we got into grow lights, and I don't want buggies in my house. It's a pain in the butt. But anyways, harvest is coming along quite nicely. Okay, so takes me to the 3D corner. What have I printed lately? Nothing. The printers have been quiet for about a week. Later today or whatever, I've got to look for some new interesting projects. I don't want another Christmas project. I've got enough Christmas stuff. So I'm trying to think of things that are practical, that I can, alter in such a way that puts my personal touch on it, i.e. a gnome or something like that. I don't know. We shall see. I've had a few suggestions from some of you as well, which they give me ideas. So if you have other suggestions, I mean, some of the things people suggest, and they suggest it out of the goodness of their heart, and I know they do. They just don't have their own 3D printer, so they really don't know what's involved. But although I may not be able to actually create the actual thing that they're talking about, I get ideas from it. And so that's very helpful. Okay, so that takes me to Blasts from the Past. And this is part 3 of the Warrnambool, it's a hard word to say, trip, part of our trip from February the 2018th in Australia.
And this is Apollo Bay. Cute little place, seaside, little tourist trap, I'm sure. The ocean's just over there on the other side of the bushes.
In 400 meters, turn right on Great Ocean Road.
And this guy's, what are we doing here? Hello? Okay, pedestrians walking. I think you can go. Okay, pedestrians walking, but not waiting for going down the crosswalk. Could look like one of those kangaroos on the side of the road. Schmucked. Port Campbell. We're heading in that direction. Little church.
Turn right on Great Ocean Road.
Warrnambool. Warrnambool, where we're our end destination for today. Now, it
Continue
looks
on
like
Great
we're
Ocean
going
Road.
inland for a bit, according to the map. Away from the ocean. Let's get it inside. So there, see, there's Apollo Bay. And then we're going around this bend here for a while. And I got to flip the map over to the other side. There you can see some more of it in the distance. Little different landscape and view from what we saw in Melbourne. We're still on the Ocean Coast Road, but this part is taking us more inland and a forested area. And the road is still curvy, but not quite as bad as the other part we just came off from. That gives you an idea of the flora and fauna. These are the 12 apostles, and if you get near waves, that you don't have like some people taking selfies of themselves on the first problems. Get it?
So, did you enjoy the 12 apostles?
It was interesting.
A few were missing.
Yeah.
They dropped in the thing. Of course, once again, as soon as you pull out your camera, take a picture, there's all kinds of Asians in them. So, sounds prejudiced, I know, but it's the truth. Oh, camera wars.
Well, it looks like the moo-moos are coming in from Elkin. Here they all are.
So, this is sort of the back of where we're staying at a Best Western here in Warrnambool. Probably didn't say that right, but whatever. And here's what the room looks like. Walter's parking the car right now. And it's okay. It's a little nicer than I thought it was going to be. Lady at the reception was really nice. And once we get in here and get settled in for a second or two, then I think we'll take a little walk to the business district. And we'll see what we see. And I hope we get something to eat too, because I'm starving. And this is where we're staying. This is the front. You already saw the back in the room. So it's okay. Yeah, things seem to be there too. Yeah. Okay, so this is a sleepy little place. This Warrnambool. Warrnambool. It's around 4 o'clock, well, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. We're looking for some place to eat. We're finding a lot of places that are closed. And we're just wondering, yeah, we're just wondering if this is what they do here. Close up on Mondays or whatever. Because when we're in Melbourne, as Walter said, they seem to be closed there a lot too on Mondays, on different things. So, really don't know what it does. Now, this place over here says Mexican restaurant, bar, takeaway, but it don't look open. A little bit more of this place. Okay, so we're back at our hotel and we're sitting in the bar having a couple of beers and we're getting some nachos because we have found that a lot of the places don't open until 5 or they're not open at all for dinner. So we'll wait around and we'll look at the menu from this place and we might just eat right here in the hotel. At least we don't have to go anyplace further. I don't know about you, but I'm
I'm kind of tired
too. So I mean, there's
all that
stuff
stress of driving on the other side.
yeah,
of the road.
right. Yeah, I get used to that. Yeah. So, yeah, this place looks okay. I guess there's a big group of Canadians here too. They're staying for 3 days, came in on a bus, but they seem to be checking out farms. So I wonder if they are some kind of farmers thing or something, you know, learning about farming things in Australia.
In drug conditions.
Well, I know that farmers do come here to check stuff, and educators do too.
Yeah.
They used to come from our board, they'd come here, and they'd share stuff about education. Of course, all the bigwigs at the board got to go to that, and of course, you know who was paying for that.
Well, they did that at work too. They came here for property assessment.
Yeah, so there you go. So, you know, what a good way to get a free trip to Australia. Wish our trip was free, but it's not. So we decided to eat here in the restaurant that's attached to the hotel. And over there's a huge group, and they're all Canadians. They're farmers, apparently. They're staying here 3 days, and they're on some kind of trip where they're going around and looking at farms. I'll bet you they're from Western Canada, but maybe not. Anyways, we're enjoying this wine, which was, well, quite frankly, one of the cheapest ones on the menu for $24, the Chardonnay. It's okay. It grows on it, but so does fungus. And Walter's having some kind of chicken breast. We think it's like a cordon bleu. but it's got like camembert farce. I said farce. I didn't say fart. I said camembert farce on it and bacon. So it sounds interesting. I'm having the pasta, which is pesto, basil pasta, fettuccine with chicken and mushrooms and stuff. We'll see what that's like. So it was either here or we struggling all over town tonight looking for a place for din-dins. And the places that were downtown anyways didn't look that exciting. And there's another place across the road from here up the hill that we looked at to go for lunch, but the kitchen was closed when we got there at 3 o'clock. So we just didn't feel like walking anywhere. So we're eating here. So here's what we ordered. So mine is the pasta, the basil pesto with chicken. The chicken is shredded with mushrooms and some Parmesan on it, and she put a little cracked pepper on it. It's actually fairly tasty. I give it a 7. And Walter's is what I'm glad I didn't order, but what do you think?
Okay. So I don't think I'd run out to get it again.
No, it's definitely not a cordon bleu.
No.
It came with a fritter, a vegetable fritter.
Yeah.
She said,
It's not that great.
so it's something different. Okay, quickly before the help comes over, what you think of your dinner?
Not so good again.
And this wasn't horrible. I've had worse, but I've had a lot better. Yeah, I still ate it because I was hungry. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still wondering whether or not Walter says he thinks maybe we're too picky, and we don't think we are, or it's just a question of that I haven't yet had, except for the first night in Melbourne. I really haven't had any meals that stand out as being excellent. Maybe we're just not eating in the right places. I don't know. Sorry, Australia, but you're not great cook.
So that brings me to events in the past week. I went last Monday, but I think I talked about that to you. Yes, I did, so I don't need to do it again. I went to the dentist, had a cleaning, blah, blah, blah. We had Pop-Up Sew Day on Saturday, and I was really surprised and pleased because I debated whether I should have one in December because everybody's busy, right? It's December, Christmas, and other holidays as well. So I thought, I could skip a month, but I didn't want to skip a month. So I decided to take a chance. I was going to be here. I was going to be sewing. So if I got a couple of people, that's fine. If I had more than that, that's fine too. Well, I had 30. Yeah. At the height of it, there were 30. That was more people than I expected. And everybody seemed to have a good time. And we got a lot done. Saw so many beautiful Christmas creations that people have been making and other things too. I always find it inspiring. When will the next Pop-Up Sew Day be, you may ask? Not till January. Haven't picked a date yet. Okay, but yep, I'll let you know for sure when that happens. Also speaking about what's coming up down the road, of course, we're getting closer. We're only about what's today? Today's the 11th or the 12th. Today's the 11th of December. Subtract that 15, so it's about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, I think, is Christmas Day, right? I'm close. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm not right. Anyways, that's the day we're leaving for Georgia on Christmas Day. So, we got 2 weeks. And I've been doing some things around here, getting us ready for that trip. And we're getting excited about it and a little anxious. And we talked about that on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But it's going to be fun. And, so Walter got the outdoor lights up, and I thought I'd show you a couple of pictures. The outdoor lights are his domain, and here's the front of our house. And you can see here, we've got, we don't put a lot of lights out, but I think what Walter did was spectacular. And at the time I took this picture, we had a little bit of snow too, which always makes things look more festive. Here's another shot, a little closer up, as you can see. The bushes and Walter's candy canes. He is very proud of his candy canes and his little urn over here, or whatever you want to call it, the pot with the Christmas foliage that's all lit up in there as well. And here's just another angle shot from this, his wreaths that he has on the outdoor lights and everything. And yeah, it looks nice. I think it does. Yeah, it's not over the top. That is over the top. Not really. It's just our neighbors. I don't think they had this last year. They may have had one, but they've got quite a collection now. And they're fun and they're huge. They really are huge. So I think it adds to, the excitement on the street. I'm sure kids, when they walk by, really love this kind of thing because they're just fun as well. So I thought I'd share those with you. Okay, so that's it for this week. Yeah, so tomorrow, Idiot Quilter. Spoiler alert, because there will be spoilers on there. So as I said, if you don't want to be spoiled by it, you may want to miss about the first 20 minutes or so of the video tomorrow, maybe a little bit more, or just skip the whole thing. If you're really afraid that I am going to wreck your Christmas because I have revealed something, sorry. Don't be a Maple 4078. Yeah, Maple 4078. Okay, enough said. We'll see you tomorrow or later in the week or whatever. Have a good one. Bye for now.